Hi guys, Commerce with Mac here today to teach you purchase journal, sales journal, and general journal. This is chapter number 10, part 2. I'm going to teach you today. Please hit the subscribe button below and also click the bell button so whenever I upload a video in future, you'll be able to get notified. And you can also say to your friends there's a channel like Commerce with Mac where you can learn the entire grade 10 and grade 11 syllabus completely free. Why are you wasting your money if you can learn it completely free? This textbook, I mean from chapter number 1 to chapter number 12 on grade 10 will be uploaded soon. I'm almost done. You might see in chapter number 10, part 2, I'm here. So in reason, like in a week of time, most probably, I have planned to upload the other videos too. Then we'll move on to the content without wasting our time because time is very, very precious. So let's move on to the area. We discussed in purchase journal regarding credit purchases and we discussed in sales journal regarding credit sales. In general journal, it's completely a different aspect. You need to understand one particular thing. Whatever the things which comes in primary books, are not recorded under general journal. Whatever which cannot be taken under primary book should be recorded under general journal. So if you are going to take the 7 primary books which I'm speaking about, cash book, petty cash book, sales journal, purchase journal, return inward journal, return outward journal, these transactions cannot be taken under general journal. Other than these 6 primary books, all the transactions are relevant to general journal. Let's move on to the topic and discuss one by one. You can see here on page number 142 they are given general. I'm not going to go deep into these areas, but then I'm just going to touch the areas which is very important. The earlier chapters and above sections discuss how to record day-to-day transaction of a business in the cash book, petty cash book, purchase journal, and sales journal. These journals are used to record only one type of transaction, hence they are known as specialized journals. Sales journal is used to record only credit sales of trade goods. As we all know that for sales journal there was a purpose, for purchase journal there was a purpose. So all these journal had its own purpose, but general journal it's completely different. You need to understand that if you cannot record the transaction under the 6 primary books, the final entry you should make it is under the general journal. Here you might see there may be some other transaction other than transactions recorded in those journal. This transaction cannot be recorded in these journal. You can see that these transactions cannot be taken under primary books, which we have learned earlier. So what are the type of transaction which they are taking under general journal? Purchase of a machine on credit basis to be used in the business. Purchase of land on credit basis to expand the business activities. Owners uses goods of the business for his purpose, for his personal use. Now you need to understand one particular thing when it comes to purchase of a machine on credit. Some students think that when you purchase something on credit, it is relevant to the purchase journal. But you need to understand one particular thing that if you purchase a machine on credit, machine is a non-current asset. A non-current asset purchase cannot be taken under primary books. When you take non-current asset purchase, you should always take it under general journal because it's not an inventory, it's a non-current asset. So when you make inventory purchases on credit, you take it under purchase journal. But then when you make a purchase of a non-current asset or other than inventory, when you make a purchase, you should always take it under general journal. And then you have purchase of land on credit basis to expand the business activities. So when you buy a land, it's also non-current asset, but again on credit basis. If you're buying on cash basis, still you can take it on the cash book, but in credit basis, the land cannot be taken even under purchase journal. That's the reason. And also they have given owners uses goods of the business for his own purposes. When a drawings has been taken out of the business, you can record out of the 6 primary books. Even we can say a lot of contents like that. Even a bad debt cannot be taken it under the 6 primary books. Why is that? A bad debt is where a customer is not giving the money on time or he cannot provide the money on time. So the money what the customer cannot give cannot be recovered. So that should be taken it under general journal. So I can even give more examples like depreciation you will be learning in grade 11 chapter number 4 under financial statements. So moving on to the topic, this transaction should be recorded in a separate primary book. The primary book used to record this transaction is known as the general journal. Accordingly, transactions that are not recorded in other primary books are recorded at first in the general journal. The source document used in recording transaction in general journal is journal voucher. A general journal can be prepared as follows. So you need to understand that when you are preparing a general journal, you will have a source document called journal voucher. So you prefer journal voucher when you are recording the transaction under general journal. So you might see in 143 the format they are given for a general journal. Date, voucher number. Voucher number is where when you make the payment you need to record it. description, ledger page. As I said, ledger page is where you record the date, record numbers, page number, from where you got these transactions. Then you need to have debit and credit. So the number one is speaking about transaction date, number of journal vouchers on number second. Number third, accounts to be debited and credited with the narration, respective ledger page numbers of accounts, and 5 and 6 value of the transaction. So they are given a good example here. February transaction recorded in the general journal. A brief description known as narration is written. Now, what is narration? Many students get a bit confused in narration. Narration is where you need to record a reason every time you record a double entry on the general journal. For what purpose this transaction occurred? So writing a reason for the transaction under general journal is known as narration. Sometimes in exams they might say narration is not required. Sometimes they might say narration is required. So if they are giving narration is required, so it's compulsorily it's going to be a high mark than narration not required. You might see on the general journal they are given a date and description, equipment account, silver company limited account. So they are given purchase of an equipment on credit for the business used for 10,000 from Silva and Company Private Limited on 28th second 2000. So they are buying a equipment, and equipment is non-current asset, so equipment account will become debit. And as they're buying it on credit from Silva and Company Private Limited account will become credit. So they have taken the correct double entry here. They forgot to write credit. So in debit equipment account and credit Silva account, but then you need to write the narration as I said, because in general journal most of the time you should write narration. Recording of equipment bought from Silva and Company Limited on credit at a cost of rupees 10,000. Not much highly tested, but still it will come around 2 to 3 marks on your papers. Then let's move on to the area we want to discuss. There are several transactions that are recorded in a general journal. Out of these, correction of accounting errors and adjustment entries are recorded in the general journal, and other type of entries are not discussed at this level. So we will be learning about general journal more detail in chapter number 12, most probably when we are learning suspense account and the errors which is affecting the trial balance. You will record it on the general journal how we are going to do these type of adjustments in future. For now, just remember this is how we are using general journal in chapter number 10. So moving on to page number 144. So I hope that's all relevant to general journal they are given on chapter number 10. Let's move on to the last part of chapter number 10, 10.4, instant cash transaction through the electronic methods of technology. So some sort of business studies are involved in this about computerized accounting. Let's look into this one by one. The methods of conducting business activities have changed with the development of technology. Today, there's a trend of conducting business activities via technological methods. Following are some instances where transactions are conducted using technology. So they're saying that people are being replaced by machines, and most probably computer packages are making people's work getting lost. You take today's environment when you go for an interview, when you pass an interview, when you go for a company, the company will have its own system. So this own system can become an accounting package. So most probably like a accounting package can be a subsystem, special query language system, IOB system. So it has its own language. So now this computerizing accounting is going to do the same thing what you're going to do in the company, and how it is going to harm you, how it is going to benefit you is all discussed under this type of topic. Computerized accounting process instead of manual recording in books. So it's very easy to record, and you will not lose data like manual accounting. Use of telephone, text messages, and email instead of communicating through letters with customers and suppliers. Today, computers have made the work much easier, like text messages, email, which is very confidential when you send it to some clients, so they can't cheat you. Payment of water bills and electricity bills through the internet. As you're an accountant, you don't want to travel from one place to another. You can sit in one place and make the transaction complete. Then we have use of checks, debit cards, and credit card instead of currency notes and coins. It's much safe because when you use debit card and credit card, if you have currency notes and coins, if it is lost, it's very hard again to replace. The person who is losing will take the responsibility. Then we have obtain account details and conduct transactions through the internet without going to the bank. Sitting in one place and getting the work done is one of the important things you can achieve when it comes to computerized accounting. Conduct sales through electronic equipment such as point of sales machine. We said as POS machines means when you keep the card on the barcode, I mean the barcode reader, the machine. You might see these food cities, they have a card system, right? When you purchase the goods, you are in a queue. So you will give you a card, they will keep it in the machine, and they will give you a receipt. So that is what we say POS system. So it's like you can do the transaction then and there. And when you whenever a customer is keeping their card, the details of those information is already updated in the system. These transactions conducted using this technology should also be recorded in the primary books and posted to ledger account. Though it is recorded through the accounting softwares, though it is recorded through the accounting packages, still you need to finalize these adjustments, and you need to transfer these adjustments to the correct relevant primary books and record it as per the standards. Then we move on to the next part, transaction conducted through mobile phones. Spread of mobile phone network all over Sri Lanka has revolutionized the day-to-day life of everyone. Mobile phones with latest technology has vastly changed the business world as well. The vastly used mobile phones in Sri Lanka are now used to settle payments in businesses. The mobile-based settlement system was firstly introduced in Sri Lanka by a private telecommunication service provider in 2012. So people are now doing mobile transactions. Like even I used to send money from my mobile to some other accounts. That is very easy, and it is saving a lot of time, and it is very secure because you don't want to go to bank, you don't want to hold the card in with you, you don't want to hold cash with you. Everything is secured, and if you have passwords, and it is much secured. But then if you lose your password, or if you save your details on the site which you are making the transaction, then the hackers can dial you, or hackers can use your information and get all the money what you have on your account. Use of mobile phones make it easy to conduct business activities. The following are some advantages. So why we need to use mobile phones to make certain transactions through internet? When it comes to how can it be useful for accounting? Ability to communicate information quickly with any related party to the business. It's very easy to communicate the information. Of course, easy to conduct banking activities via mobile phones. You don't want to go to bank. You don't want to, if you really want to deposit for certain accounts, you don't want to fill a deposit slip, but still you can have a receipt. I mean, you will have a deposit slip once you make the deposit. That's one of the good thing by sitting in one place. Even if you wanted to, order something to your house, you can sit in one place. Or if you wanted to order some sort of resources to your company, you can sit in one place and get the work done. Easy to obtain required information to take business decisions by browsing internet through data connection of mobile phones. It's very easy and straightforward. This type of question, if they ask how can you use mobile phones to browse the internet and get the work done, or to conduct the banking activities, or communicating the information in a very detailed manner. At present, most banks have provided mobile banking facilities to their customers. These services are known as telebanking services. The following tasks can be accomplished by using the telebanking facility. So they use they use this type of calls like phones to do the transaction in an easy manner. So they are saying that in telebanking you can do this type of facilities also. Check the bank account balance, obtain bank statement, payment of electricity bills and water bills, transfer of funds from one account to another account, place orders for checkbooks. So this type of things can be done under telebanking by using a mobile. You can do this type of very straightforward ones. Just for your understanding, I'm reading it. If you find any certain areas you want further clarification, comment under comment section so I can explain you further, because these are very straightforward things. You can just remember and write it. Don't by heart these things because it's a waste of time in your exams. Advantages of telebanking facilities. Why it is good for businessmen. Ability for businessmen to control their funds without going to the bank. So advantages of telebanking facilities can be ability for businessmen to control their funds without going to the bank at any time and anywhere. It's easy to see the balance, so you can even report how much money the business has earned, how much revenues the business has collected, and how much money they have made payment. Everything can be made into an Excel sheet or report. I mean, they can extract the report to the Excel sheet and they can show it to the business. Easy to conduct transaction, of course, indeed. Financial transaction can be fulfilled quickly. Save time and effort. Problems of safety when transporting coins and notes in absence when using the telebank facilities. So you don't want to carry anything from one place to another. You can just do the transaction. It saves a lot of time. It is also doing the financial transaction very fast. So you don't want to move the transport time. Everything is saved when it comes to telebanking facilities. So then there's something called CAA, computer aided accounting. Currently, most businesses have computerized their accounting activities. Accounting data is input into an accounting software, and the required accounting outputs are obtained. The day-to-day transactions are entered into the computer system. This data is recorded, stored, interpreted, and communicated to the stakeholders of business using computer. So when you put all the information through accounting software and generate the information through the accounting software and inform to your shareholders, whoever has invested in your company, this way of reporting the information through the software is what we say computer aided accounting. So they use a lot of softwares to record all the transactions in a very easy manner. Most of the companies which are starting, they used to use the system called SAP. Certain companies like they used to have the other package like MyOp and as well as SQL, special query languages, when they're doing this type of accounting packages. And we'll move on to the next part of the content. You might see here, at the end of the accounting period, financial statement would be prepared automatically by computers. The following accounting packages are being used at present for these purposes. So if you guys are planning to be an accountant in future, knowing this type of things is very important. But in Sri Lanka, other than this, the main thing you need to know is Excel sheet. So you all might think, okay, why Microsoft is giving you Microsoft Excel? So have the use of Microsoft Excel, learn certain YouTube videos, and of course you can improve your Microsoft Excel. If you know Excel, then of course getting a work is going to be much easy. These packages will make work easy. Actually, we can prepare the reports easily. We can just convert the reports easily, and that will save a lot of time for us. So ActPack, QuickBook, MyOb, and Sage. Advantages and disadvantages of computerized accounting are as follows. So they might ask a few packages for accounting. CAA, you need to remember one of these packages. That's more than enough, guys. Then we have advantages and disadvantages of having computerized accounting software. Time is saved as transactions are quickly recorded in the accounting system and financial reports are automatically prepared. You don't want to prepare the financial statement by manually and everything is done automatically. If something is wrong on the financial statement, if it is not balancing, you can go and check where it went wrong through the system itself. Money is saved through reduced labor requirement. You don't want to waste a lot of time to generate the reports whenever you need, and it saves a lot of time. And as it is saving a lot of time, you don't want to hire many people in your company. High level of accuracy in accounting reports is possible because those reports are automatically prepared. As we are preparing the reports automatically, you need to understand one particular thing. It will save a lot of time and it is very accurate. It can't go wrong. Ability to obtain the relevant data easily. Whatever the management is asking, you can generate those reports and give it anytime they need. Disadvantages: the risk of deletion of data due to power failures. When you're recording, if you don't save, you will lose the entire data in the system. Computer viruses and other technical faults. So you need to be very concerned about the computer viruses. Due to computer viruses, you might lose the data. But then today people are using like Google Drives to save the data, so they might not lose the information which is in Google Drive. Risk of unauthorized access and changing of computer data. So if someone has a chance to get into your computer and get all the details, then of course you might lose a lot of value towards your company. A large sum of money is required to purchase computer software. Of course, every year to make a computer software, you need to pay some money, and that will actually save a lot of time. Then we have the last part, activity 4, list down some advantages of telebanking. That's already here, guys. You can see advantages of telebanking can be these things. So you can write few, you can see my spotlight, and I have taken a note. So you can write few of these, and those are the advantages of telebanking, which we explain now. And the last thing, it would be beneficial for a business to record transaction using computers rather than recording in books manually. Debate on this statement with your friends. Of course, I would say it's better to record the transaction automatically because it will save a lot of time. But then when you are doing manually, you might be correct most of the time with your experience. But then if an inexperienced person works, he might do a lot of mistakes. But automatic system is already perfect, so it is built by an experienced person. So if it goes wrong, the inexperienced person can do learn. But then when you want to correct the mistake, you need to go manually and find it out. So I hope you guys understood the chapter number 10. It is complete now. You can watch the chapter number 10 part 1 to learn with me more. What you need to do, guys, you need to subscribe the channel and click the bell button. And also, guys, I have planned to upload the chapter number 11 soon and finish off the grade 10 syllabus fast as possible and work on grade 11. And if you guys like the channel's videos, please comment and please inform to your friends there's a channel called Commerce with Mac that they can learn the entire commerce, business studies, accounting, economics advanced level, as well as O level, grade 10 and 11 business studies and accounting completely free. That's all for today, guys. See you on another video. Have a nice day, guys.